Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus one more time. I think I got something that's fabulous to share with you today. My subject is dying and going to hell. You know, I've been around for quite some time, as you can see, based upon my appearance. I've seen a lot of things related to death. I have seen plane crashes and death. I've seen drownings, obviously death. I've seen gunshots, knives, fightings that led to death. I've seen my great-grandparents die. My grandparents, my parents, my uncles and aunts, many of them grew up with me, all passed on. I've seen my siblings, some of them, pass on. And I've even seen one of my children pass on. But I witnessed something very soon that kind of got my attention. I saw a person who was a victim of one of the disabilities that exist in humankind, for which there is no cure. And I saw them in a situation where they were so fearful, and what they were screaming out is, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I never heard anybody say those words in that type of situation. You know, I might have heard people say, well, I don't want to die. You know, most of us will say that unless we got a good reason to want to die. But to just fear it as if it's there waiting for you and you can't escape it, but you don't hang on. You're going to do everything you possibly can because you got to avoid it. You just got to avoid it. That got my attention. And I started to ask for some revelation. And what I got was dying and going to hell. And what was that message? That message was that there are people who have had it all. They lived in peace, experienced prosperity, freedom in their lives, joy for what they do. And as a result, the fulfillment of their dreams, never hungry or clothesless, never without shelter, never denied education, the best health care possible, and a career in this whole process that made it possible to exist in such abundance that no one, not one individual, suffered a lack of anything. Kind of called it heavenly. And that person died. Well, one of the people died. And when they came up, it was a little bit different than where they came from. Because now where they ended up, they had a different type of environment. It wasn't that everybody was charming, go happy, go lucky, cheerful, thrilled, happy. No, there was chaos. Chaos because there were people who lived possibly to a certain degree, as if they were in heaven in the uh, reality that they could access whatever basically they wanted to access. There were really no limits on that except a very few. And at the same time, there was the other extreme where people could do nothing. Many of them had to eat dirt, the worms in the dirt, eat insects, eat dogs and cats and monkeys and horses and bears and snakes, squirrels, frogs, whatever they could get their hands on. It was from one extreme to the other. There was a separation between the people based upon their gender. There was a separation that was based upon their color. There was a separation based upon their geographic locations. There was separation based upon whether they had the attitude sexually as others. And the separation indicated to what degree you can experience the good things that in life and what price you'd have to pay in order to experience those good things. And good things meaning things that satisfy you. So you had a lot of lying going on, a lot of cheating going on, a lot of stealing going on, a lot of hatred going on, a lot of poverty, crime, and violence going on, terrorizing, and war going on. You saw that happening within states, within nations, and then you saw it going on at the extended borders, what we call international, so to speak. They had divided themselves up into that degree, and each had various systems of government. They all represented various systems of government. And what the whole thing represented was hell. Because what the person, the people had experienced was now no more. And in this hell, you had people not knowing anything about the past. They had a book that was used to keep the story going. And like all things that humans touch, it got exploited. One of the most obvious exploitations took place in words and in pictures, describing the connection to God the Father as something, if man is going to be connected in the image of God, looking like me, my skin tone, my hair texture, and my hair color. Possibly, if I take these glasses off, the sunshine, maybe my eyes. But then, a picture is worth 1,000 words. So regardless of what you said about me, someone that might look like me, you put a picture of someone that looked like another. Not me. Totally opposite. Rather than nappy hair, long straight hair. rather than this skin tone, hell, rather than honest and truthful, fake, a lie. But it serves hell real well because it keeps the people divided. Some sensing one thing, some sensing another. It doesn't matter what you're sensing. Everything that you're sensing keeps you in hell because none of that frees anyone. And so what the message I got, ladies and gentlemen, is this, is that every last one of us are in hell. Some parts of hell is worse than others. Bull is going on everywhere. I mean, the POD, hellish stuff, the worst that you can find is going on everywhere. But more of it is taking place in certain places than others. But as time passes, that same degree of hellishness that's affecting people in the worst places will be affecting people in all places. The challenge is here on this earth where we are. We here because we chose to listen, to believe that the power was in what we could see and not in what we could not see. We, rather than believe that there's a power that we can't see that is responsible for the creation of the earth, we'd rather say it came from a big bang. And rather than say that we humankind were created by a power we can't see, we'd rather say we evolved from something. And rather than say that this earth that we're on was created or established by another mixed them owner, we decided through our ways and means of cutting it up, dicing it up, and putting names on it, holding it as something special, something prosperous, property. And all of that serving the purpose of the evil power that you can't see. And what is it that we as people are to do here? We are to live in hell and experience hell to the degree that we have to experience it before, and hopefully at a time when the fires will awake us. That the fires will awake us. What did I say? Until a time, live in this hell, exactly in this hell, until a time when the fires will awake us. Fires from having to go through this persecution that is imposed upon us in this land, in this state of being, or a time we find ourselves in so much pain, we cry out to all truth to forgive us. We cry out to all truth. And then sometimes we just return to a deeper hell. But what is the purpose for any of us? Well, if we accepted a lie that got us here, maybe we can find the truth and get out of here. And what is that truth? That truth, ladies and gentlemen, I will tell you this, may be different for every human being on the face of the earth. I say it may be different for every human being on the face of the earth because every human being on the face of the earth must turn to its maker. You must turn to your maker. A time when you cannot depend upon your mother and your father, or your race, or your government. A time when there's only one thing that's important, and that's you and your connection to life. And that's with the power that you can't see, but it's so real to you that it lives within you. And the world knows it because you reflect it, you show it. And that which is presented is accepted. And it is a light, a love light to all to see. So, when you are touched by that fire that wakes you up, that is a situation where you have come into an experience that reduced any doubt that you had. In fact, eliminated it. And what does that mean? That basically means that you now know that there is a God. And you know that there is no man above any other man over you, nor you over another. And you know that the way to life is peaceful, it's prosperous, it's free, it's joyous. Your dreams are fulfilled. And when I say your dreams, ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about everything that humankind has engaged in since the existence of humankind. And you know more to come. All of that. Giving the resources freely from power you can't see. The desire to serve we the people. The ability to engage in the process, we the people. Cause a manifestation, we the people. For we the people. To experience whatever it does. We don't see it as a tool to make money. Because we know to use it as a tool to make money, it's about exploitation. It's about exploiting the earth and its resources. It's about exploiting the workers. It's about exploiting all of the humanity that cannot engage in the process. For instance, they say they're going to start having a trip taking people up into space, costing millions of dollars. How many people will be able to take that trip? Not saying that everybody would want to take it, but if they wanted to, how many could take that trip? So you in hell says, that's okay. You got to be a bigger dog than the next dog. That's hell talking. But see, those who are enlightened, those who recognize the truth, will tell you what's going on and tell you also that if you want to achieve those things, all you got to do is die. And what I mean by dying, I mean dying to the systems of the world. Dying to them and start living for the system that you now see, that is a reflection of the power that others can't see, but now seeing it in you. That's what it basically means. It means turning this hell into heaven. Or if that's too complicated, then turning it into paradise, and then we'll turn it into heaven. But that's what it means. It means dying to the systems. In other words, those systems that have been controlling you, you know they are hellish. You know that the Republicans and Democrats and Americans and all of the other national nations are all right here in the midst of hell, following the dictates of the power that is anti-life. Every last one of us. Except, excuse me, I don't know who you are, you know who you are. Those that are being led by the Spirit of God. And their duty and function and responsibility daily is changing this hell we're in into heaven or paradise. And we're doing it why? Because we are dead to the ways of the world. And we are born, you heard born again? To the ways of a new, the one where we came from, the one that we remember, and the one that we're going to recreate or will challenge evil. So if God says take us out, then take us out, because we're not going to be a part of this hell. And this is how you are known. This is how you're called peculiar people, because you are changing the world. You didn't just stop smoking. You didn't just stop drinking. You didn't just stop having fun. You didn't just stop having sex. No, you started standing up for justice. You started representing love, and you started showing that in how you responded to the needs and the concerns of the human race, not just your people sleeping in the same house. You got it, ladies and gentlemen? I think I did pretty good. I want to thank you so very much for giving me this your attention. Until next time, this is Eddie Marcus saying, dying and going to hell. You better wake up, because you're already in it. You are dead. but you can't escape. You must be born again. And how do you do that? You got to want it. It's already here, but you got to want it to get it. Until next time, goodbye.